Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I would like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. I would like to improve my English skill. I would like to improve my English skill. Every part of English skill. Speaking, writing, listening, and reading. I decided to study every day. I decided to study every 2 days. I I decided to study every 3 days. I decided to study every other day. Every second day. Every second day. I decided to study every other year. I desire to pass the entrance examination. I desire to pass the entrance examination. I desire to succeed in business. Do you desire to succeed in your business? Do you desire to pass the entrance examination of the university? Do you desire to enter the company? Do you desire to study abroad? I desired to study abroad when I was a student, but I don't expect it now. I don't desire it now because, now that we have many sources of study, we don't have to go to study English, foreign languages. We can study anywhere because of there are many sources of study everywhere, thanks to the prevalence of the internet. You can soak yourself into English world. You can force yourself to study English. You can force yourself to soak into English world. I desire to take a trip to USA next year. I desire to marry her. I desire to take a trip to Hawaii next year. I desire to leave the office by 5 o'clock today. I desire to leave my office by 5 o'clock p.m. today. I desire to buy the watch. I desire to go for the party. I desire for the party to be cancelled. I desire for the party to be cancelled. I desire to study abroad. I desire to study abroad. I desire to study abroad. I desire to buy the video game. I desire to pass the entrance examination. I desire to reach my office in time for the start. I desire to be in time for the office for the start time. I desire to arrive at my office in time for the start, in time for the meeting. I desire to arrive at my hotel in time for the check-in time. I desire to pass the entrance examination. I desire to arrive at the destination by the time we promised to meet at. I desire to arrive at our destination where I promised with my friend to meet at. I desire to arrive at the destination where we promised with my friend to meet. I expect my orders to be shipped by tomorrow. I expect the elderly to be treated fairly. I expect everyone to be treated fairly. I expect the orders to be shipped by tomorrow. I expect the flight to be arrive at the airport by noon. I expect to arrive at the office in time for the start. I expect the flight to be arrive at the destination at least 30 minutes later, behind the schedule. I expect the orders to be arrive at my house by today. I expect my documents to arrive at the office by today. I expect everyone to be treated fairly. I expect everybody to be treated fairly. You are expected to organize the picnic this time. You are expected to organize the picnic this time. I failed to pass the entrance examination. I failed to arrive at the destination in time for the start. I failed to solve the math problem. Many students failed to solve the math questions which were given by the teacher. Many students failed to solve the math questions. Many students failed to solve the math questions given by the teacher. Many students failed to answer the math questions taught at a question in the exam. Failing to arrive at the destination by the time written in this paper is subject to extra fee. Failing to arrive at this hotel by the decided time is subject to extra fee. I failed to persuade my daughter to stop crying. I failed to pass the entrance examination. I failed to arrive at the station. I failed to get to Kinkakuji Temple myself. I failed to enter the company. I failed to enter the company. I failed to enter the company. I failed to enter the school. 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 I failed to arrive at the destination where we promised to meet. She failed to keep the promise. She failed to keep the promise. She failed to be patient. She failed to be patient and hit the guy in the head. I hope to get my orders by today. I hope to pass the entrance examination. Where did you learn to play the guitar? Where did you learn? Where did you learn to play the guitar? Where did you learn to play the piano? Where did you learn to deliver such a expensive punch? Where did you learn to make a speech nicely? Where did you learn to operate the machine? Where did you learn to write a letter so nicely, so nice. I learned to play the guitar at music school in Tokyo. I learned to play the piano at music school in Kyoto. I learned to play the guitar. I learned to play the guitar. I learned to play the baseball. I learned to do karate. I learned to cut cabbage thinly. Can you cut cabbage thinly? I learned to cut the cabbage thinly, very thinly, fast. I learned to cut cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to cut the cabbage thinly and fast. I learned to run fast. I learned to swim fast. I learned to concentrate. Where did you learn to concentrate? Where did you learn to concentrate? Where did you learn to cook the cake? Where did you learn to make the menu? Where did you learn to cook the menu? Where did you learn to cook the cake? Where did you learn to swim like this? Where did you learn to swim like that? Where did you learn to swim in this form? Where did you learn to write kanji? Where did you learn to write kanji? Where did you learn to throw a baseball so fast? I learned to play the baseball. I learned to throw a baseball so fast at high school club team. I learned to cook Japanese cuisine. I learned to cook Japanese cuisine. I learned to cook Japanese food, Japanese menu. I managed to solve the math problems, questions. I managed to arrive at the destination. I managed to solve the problem. I managed to solve the problem. I managed to solve the problem. I managed to be in time for the movie. I managed to be in time for the theater. I managed to be in time for the live. I managed to be in time for the school, the lecture. I managed to arrive at the destination. I managed to calm my daughter down. I managed to solve my problem. I managed to overcome difficulties. I managed to solve my problem. I managed to overcome the difficulty. I managed to overcome the difficulty I faced last night. I managed to get through this difficulty. I managed to solve this problem. I managed to get through the difficulty. The little child managed to arrive at home. The little child managed to arrive at home himself. The little girl managed to go to school herself. The little girl managed to buy the goods which were ordered to buy by her mother. The little child managed to buy the goods which were ordered to buy by her mother. The little child managed to buy the goods which she was told to buy from her mother. I managed to arrive at home during the heavy rain. I managed to arrive at my house during the heavy rain. I managed to arrive at my hotel in another country. I managed to pass the entrance examination. I mean to be a doctor after graduating from this university. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry. It was by accident. It was accidentally. I didn't mean to hurt you, but I happened to step on your foot by accident. I happened to step on your foot. I didn't mean to hurt you. It was by accident. So I'm sorry. I mean to take a trip to the country, but I cancelled. I mean to go to Okinawa next year. I meant to go to Okinawa last year, but I cancelled it. Do you mean to study abroad? Do you mean to move here? Do you mean to move here? Do you mean to move to Tokyo to find a job? To work there? To go to school? Do you mean to study in Tokyo? Do you mean to study in USA? Do you mean to study in London, United Kingdom? The rich person offered to donate 100 million yen to the city. The rich man offered to donate 1 million yen to the city. The rich man offered to donate 10,000 yen, 100,000 yen. To the city. Our boss offered to hold a picnic, to relax, to forget about daily stress. Our boss offered hold a meeting. Our boss offered to give us a paid leave. The Prime Minister offered to issue a state of emergency 2 days later. I offered to work on Saturdays for my boss. I offered to work on Saturdays in the place of the staff who is going to have a day off tomorrow. I offered to work instead of him. I offered to work instead of him. I offered to take the business trip instead of the staff, instead of the member. The executives offered to go without bonus this winter. The executives offered forgo bonus this winter. The executives offer to go without bonus this winter. The executives offer to forego bonus this winter. I offer to overwork. I offer to work overtime this today because it is very busy. It was very busy. I offer to work overtime. I offer to work overtime. Then I offered to work overtime yesterday because it was very busy. I offered to work overtime last week. I offered to work overtime. I offered to work on Saturday. The rich man offered to donate 10 million yen to the city. Please do not pretend to study. Please do not pretend to be studying. Please do not pretend to be working hard. Please do not pretend to be working hard. Please do not pretend to be working harder. You are not working hard actually. You are actually not working harder. Please do not pretend to be working hard. Please do not pretend to be working hard. Please do not pretend to be working hard. Are you pretending to be a child? Are you pretending to be a little child? Because your voice is like that. Are you pretending to be a doctor? Are you pretending to be a lawyer? Are you pretending to be the artist? Are you pretending to be the artist now? Because you are like him. A fraud guy appeared in front of my house, pretending to be a city official. A man appeared in front of the house of an old couple, pretending to be a police officer. I like the comedian pretending to be a police officer. The child often pretends to be studying hard. The student often pretends to be studying hard. The student often pretends to be studying hard. Only when he is be looked at by his teacher. The student often pretends to be studying hard. 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 When I was pretending to be dead in the sea, a woman came to rescue me. I was just floating on the sea, and I was pretending to be dead. When I was pretending to be dead in the sea, a woman came to rescue me. When I was pretending to be dead in the sea and floating on the sea, a woman came to rescue me, and she told me not to do that again. When I was pretending to be dead in the sea, when I was pretending to be dead and floating on the sea, a woman came to rescue me. Can you promise me not to do that again? Can you promise me not to do that again? I didn't promise you to buy Rolex watch for your birthday. I can promise to keep the rule. I can promise to keep the rule. I can promise you not to make you sad again. I can promise you to make you happy. I can promise you to make you happy. I can promise never to break the rule. I can promise to keep the rule. I can promise to keep the rule. I can promise to keep my room every day. I can promise to keep me concentrated. I can promise to keep myself hydrated. I refuse to take on the job. I refuse to take on the job. Everyone will refuse to do the job. I refuse to take part in the party. I will refuse to take part in the party. I refuse to enter the club. I refuse to enter the club. I refuse to belong to the club. I refuse to enter the club. I refuse to belong to the club. I refuse to enter the club. I refuse to belong to the club. I refuse to enter the club. I refuse to enter the club. I refuse to take on the job. I refuse to wash my dishes. The selfish child refused to wash his dishes himself. The child refused to wash his dishes. The child refused to do his homework. The child refused to do his homework. The child refused to study every day. The child refused to come back by 5. The child refused to come back by 5. The child refused to wash his dishes. I seek to climb Mount Fuji, but I gave up. I seek to persuade her not to cry and try it again, but I failed. I seek to find the solution, but I couldn't. I seek to pass the entrance examination of the university, but I failed. I failed to pass the entrance examination. I seek to get through the difficulty, but I was too weak to overcome. I seek to buy the house, but when I get the money for the house, I lost the interest for house. I am seeking to solve the problem. I am seeking to solve the problem. The children are seeking to solve the problem. The children are seeking to find solution. The students are seeking to solve the questions given by the teacher. I seek to climb Mount Fuji. I seek to climb Mount Fuji. I seek to calm my sister down. I seek to find a way. I seek to find highway. I seek to find my watch I lost somewhere on the street, but I couldn't find. I seek to find a watch I lost somewhere on the street. I am seeking to find my watch I lost somewhere on the street. I seek to start the machine, but it didn't work. I seek to start the machine. I seek to start the machine. I seek to start the machine. I seek to get the machine started. I seek to start the machine. I seek to begin the machine. I seek to activate the machine. I seek to activate the machine. I seek to activate the machine, but it didn't work. I seek to persuade the little child not to cry, but he kept crying until his mother finally appeared. I seek to find my pencil. I seek to find my pencil in the school. I seek to find solution to the problem. The Prime Minister is seeking to find the best solution to the problem. The Prime Minister is seeking to find the best solution to the problem. The Governor is seeking to find the best solution to the problem. The executives of the company are seeking to find solutions to the problem. We are seeking to find the cheapest way to take the trip. We are seeking to find the cheapest way to take the trip to save money. I am seeking to find the cheapest way so that I can save money. I am seeking to find the cheapest way to save money. I seeked to climb Mount Fuji, but I couldn't. I seeked to persuade her not to cry, but I failed. She kept crying until her mother came. I seeked to climb Mount Fuji. 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 I seeked to study a lot. I seeked to succeed in the business. I seeked to succeed in the business, but I failed. I am seeking to succeed in the business. I am seeking to succeed in the business. I am seeking to pass the entrance examination. I am seeking to pass the entrance examination. I am seeking to pass the exam. I am seeking to pass the exam. I am trying to pass the exam. I am attempting to pass the exam. I am trying to pass the examination. I am attempting to pass the examination. I am attempting to pass the entrance examination. I am attempting to. I am attempting to pass the entrance examination. I am attempting to enter the company. I am seeking to enter the company. I am attempting to enter the company, enter the school, university. I am seeking to enter the company. I am seeking to pass the exam. I am seeking to pass the exam. I seeked to climb Mount Fuji, but I couldn't. I seeked to climb Mount Yoteizan. I seeked to solve the problem. I am seeking 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 to arrive at my destination in time for the start. I am trying to reach my school. I am seeking to reach my school. I am seeking to reach my school. I am seeking to get to my school. I am seeking to arrive at my school. I am seeking to arrive at my house. I am seeking to arrive at my destination. I am seeking to get to the office. I am seeking to arrive at the office. I am seeking to reach 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 the office. I am seeking to solve the problem. The executives are seeking to solve the problems. The executives are seeking to solve the problems. I am seeking to solve the problems. I am seeking to solve the problem. 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 The Prime Minister is seeking to solve the problem. The Prime Minister is seeking to find a solution to the problem. The Prime Minister is seeking to find the best solution to the problem. I wish to get the qualification this year, by this year. I wish to get the qualification by this year. I wish to get the bonus higher than last year. I wish to get the qualification this year. I wish to get the qualification this year. Do you wish to get the qualification by this year? Do you wish to study abroad? I often enjoy listening to classic music. I often enjoy listening to rock music. I often enjoy listening to classic music. The criminal admitted stealing the money from the bank. The criminal admitted having stolen money from the bank. The criminal admitted stealing money from the bank. The criminal admitted stealing the money from the bank. The criminal admitted stealing the money from the bank. The man admitted having stolen the money from the bank. My friend admitted eating my cake during the midnight. My friend admitted having eaten my cake during the midnight while I was sleeping. My sister admitted eating my cake while I was sleeping. My sister admitted having eaten my cake while I was sleeping. My friend admitted using my pencil. My friend admitted having used my pencil. Please avoid taking the route, because if you take the route during the time, you will get into traffic congestion, which leads to very higher stress. You will waste your time. To avoid getting into the traffic congestion, please leave your house 1 hour earlier than usual. It might be a little earlier for you, but you have plenty of time. You have a lot of time in the morning and you are enough prepared for everything. So why don't you get up 1 hour earlier than usual? Please avoid talking to him. Once you talk to him, he will talk endless. Please avoid asking the manager, asking him. Once you ask him, he will explain like endless. Okay, I will consider buying a house from the company. Okay, I will consider taking the route. Okay, I will consider buying the ticket from the site. Thank you for your information. Why don't you consider buying another machine for your work? Why don't you consider hiring 2 more staff for our busy work? I hope the company consider hiring more than 500 employees this year. I hope my boss consider giving me pay raise. I hope my boss giving me pay raise. I hope my boss consider giving us more paid leaves. I consider having a day off tomorrow. I consider having a paid leave next weekend, Friday, so that I can 3 days off in line, in a row, in serial. I want to have 3 days off in serial, in line, in a row. Please consider studying every day 2 hours so that you can enter the high school that where you want to enter, which you want to enter. Please consider studying at least 2 hours every night if you want to enter the university. The criminal denied stealing the money from the bank. The criminal denied having stolen the money from the bank. The criminal is keeping denying stealing the money from the bank. The criminal is denying having stolen the money from the bank. The child denies cheating on the test. The child denied having cheated on the test. The student denied cheating on the test. The student denied having cheated on the test. The student denied having cheated on the test. The student denied stealing money from his friend. The student denied cheating on the test. 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 The student denied having cheated on the test. The student denied cheating on the test. The student denied having cheated on the test. My brother denied eating my cake while I was sleeping. My brother denied having eaten my cake while I was sleeping. The criminal denied stealing merchandise from the store. The criminal denied having stolen merchandise from the department store. I want to know the way to escape working, escape meeting. I would like to know the best way to escape participating in the party. Do you know the best way to escape participating in the party? Do you know how to escape participating in the party? Do you know how to escape taking part in the party? Taking part in the party meeting. I would like to know the best way to escape from attending the meeting. Do you know the way to escape attending the meeting? Do you know how to escape meeting him? Do you know how to escape meeting him? Do you know the best way to escape attending the meeting? I would like to know the way to escape attending the meeting. I would like to know the way to escape making a speech tomorrow. I would like to know the way to escape working on Saturday. You should escape taking the route. You should escape taking the route. You should escape using money on gambling. You should escape using money on gambling. You should escape using money on gambling. You should escape using your money on gambling. You should escape using money on gambling. You should escape taking the route from 7 to 9 o'clock a.m. You should escape taking the route. You should escape ride to work. You should escape riding to work in your car during 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. The route is always the route in the time zone is very congested. The route in the time zone is always congested. You should escape complaining. You should escape attending the meeting. I would like to 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 escape participating in the party. I would like to escape taking part in the party. I would like to escape joining 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 the party. I would like to escape attending the meeting. I would like to escape attending the meeting. I would like to escape attending the meeting. I would like to escape making a speech at tomorrow's meeting. I would like to escape joining the party. I would like to escape taking part in the party. I would like to escape participating in the party. Have you finished doing your homework? Have you finished doing your homework? Have you finished doing your job? Have you finished writing your report? Have you finished handing in the report to the professor? Have you finished handing in the document to the professor? Have you finished submitting the document to the boss? Have you finished reporting to your boss? Have you finished writing the report? Have you finished handing in the report to your professor? Have you finished submitting the report to your professor? Have you finished writing the report? Have you finished handing in the report to your professor? Have you finished it? Was it difficult? Could you finish it sooner? Could you give up smoking? Could you give up using money on gambling? Could you give up smoking nearby? Could you give up drinking alcohol? Could you give up smoking next to me? Could you give up drinking alcohol? Could you give up using money on gambling? Do you want to give up using money on gambling? Do you want to give up drinking alcohol? Do you want to give up smoking? I would like to give up wasting my time. I would like to give up wasting my time, my precious time. I would like to give up doing my bad habit. When did you succeed in giving up smoking? Did you succeed in giving up your smoking? When did you succeed in giving up alcohol, drinking alcohol? When did you succeed in giving up drinking alcohol? When did you succeed in giving up smoking? When did you succeed in giving up smoking? When did you succeed in drinking alcohol? When did you succeed in giving up drinking alcohol? Please give up making noise. I cannot sleep. Please give up complaining, but find the way to solve the problem. Please give up complaining, but find the solution. 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 Please give up smoking. 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 Please give up drinking alcohol. Please give up using money on gambling. Can you imagine me working as a doctor? Can you imagine my daughter working as a doctor? Can you imagine shark swimming under your bed? Can you imagine shark swimming under your bed? Have you imagined cars flying in the sky? Have you imagined cars flying in the sky? Have you imagined cars driving in the sea? Have you imagined cars flying like in the sky? Have you imagined everything operated by AI and robots? Have you imagined flying in the sky like a bird? Can you imagine flying in the sky? Can you imagine cars 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 flying in the sky? Yesterday I imagined having lunch with her. Yesterday I imagined having lunch with her. I imagined having lunch with him. I imagined having a coffee in the restaurant. I imagined having a life in Hawaii. I imagined having a life in Hawaii. I imagined having coffee at the cafe. Do you mind me opening the window? Do you mind me studying here? Do you mind me studying here? Do you mind my studying here? Do you mind my studying here? Would you mind my studying here? Would you mind me studying here? Would you mind if I study here? Do you mind if I study here? Do you mind getting noise from outside? Would you mind getting noise from outside? Would you mind closing the door? 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 Would you mind opening the door? Would you mind turning down the volume of the radio, please? Would you mind turning down the volume, please? Would you mind turning on the switch, turning on the light? Would you mind turning off the light? Would you mind turning on the light? Would you mind take off all the lights when you leave the office last? Would you mind take off all the lights and close all the doors and windows when you leave the office last? Would you mind close all the windows and doors when you leave the office last? Are you practicing playing the piano? Are you practicing playing the piano now? How often do you practice playing the guitar? How often do you practice playing the tennis? Tennis. How often do you practice playing the guitar? How often do you practice playing the violin? How often do you practice playing the contrabass? How often do you practice playing the cello? How often do you practice playing the xylophone? How often do you how often do you practice playing the timpani? I practice speaking English as possible as I can, as many days as I can. I practice speaking English as many days as I can. As many days as possible. I practice speaking English as many days as possible. Yes. Si, oui. Oui, oui, je vois. Do you like practice playing the piano? Do you like practice speaking English? Do you like practice studying? Do you like practice speaking Japanese? Do you like practice dancing? Do you like to practice dancing? Are you practicing singing? Are you practicing dancing? The mayor postponed opening the sports meeting. The principal of the school postponed opening the sports meeting until next week. The principal of the school put off holding the sports meeting until next week because of the inclement weather, owing to inclement weather. If possible, I would like to postpone holding the event until next month. If it is possible, I would like to put off holding the event until next month. I'm so busy and nothing is all set. Nothing is set. Nothing is ready. So if it is possible, I would like to postpone holding the event until next month. I would like to put off holding the event until next month. The event was postponed holding. The event was postponed holding. The event was postponed holding. The sports meeting was put off opening, put off holding. The sports meeting was put off holding. The sports meeting was postponed holding. The government decided to postpone opening Tokyo Olympic next summer. Until next summer. I hope the organization will postpone holding the event. I hope the organization put off holding the event. I hope the organization will postpone holding the examination. I hope that the organization will put off holding the examination. I hope the life of the artist will be postponed. I hope the life of the artist will be put off until next month. I will postpone holding the event. I will postpone holding the event. I will put off holding the event. If I were the Prime Minister, I would postpone holding the event. I would put off holding the event. If I have the right to decide, I will put off holding the event. I will postpone holding the event. I would like to postpone taking examination. I would like to put off taking examination. If it is possible, if I can do that for free, I would like to postpone going to USA until next month. I would like to put off going to USA until next month. If it is possible, I would like to postpone going to USA on business next year. If it is possible, I would like to put off going to USA on business trip next year. Can I postpone submitting the document? Can I put off submitting the document? May I postpone doing the homework? May I put off doing the homework? May I postpone handing in the document? May I put off handing in the document? Excuse me. May I postpone visiting your office next week? May I put off visiting your branch office next week? May I postpone submitting the document? May I put off submitting the document? I would like to postpone taking the examination. I would like to put off taking the examination. I would like to put off taking the examination. I recommend reading a number of books as possible as I can, as many books as you can. I recommend reading as many books as you can. I recommend reading as many books as you can. I recommend reading as many books as you can in a month, at least one in a month. I recommend going to Universal Studios Japan because the facility is very fun to go. Very fun to go around. Very fun to have the attraction there. I recommend doing daily effort. I recommend having food and drinks when you climb Mount Fuji. I recommend you should bring some food and water when you climb Mount Fuji, because if you buy food and drinks on the way, the price for the food and water is very expensive, like 5 or 6 times higher than usual. I recommend that you should stay here today. I recommend that you should postpone your plan to next week because typhoon is coming. It is very dangerous to move in the typhoon. I recommend that you should postpone your itinerary 1 or 2 days because the typhoon is coming. I recommend making an effort. I recommend making a daily effort. I recommend making a daily effort. I recommend making a daily effort. Making a daily effort. Daily effort will stack up so high in the future, and you can be incredible in the future. The only way to go to the incredible area is to stack up daily effort every day. I think so. The only way to go to the incredible area is to stack up daily effort every day. Daily effort is very important. Daily effort is the key to the success. I recommend making a daily effort. I recommend making a daily effort. Make a daily effort. A daily effort will stack up like pyramids, and such a daily effort will lead to such a huge effort in the future. I recommend making a daily effort. I recommend making a daily effort. Okay, I will finish talking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.